let's talk a little bit about, continue talking about the Amida. So we've been talking about the first three blessings, the last three blessings of the Amida. We've gone through some of the background of the Amida, the history. So we've established that the Amida contains 18, which is really 19 blessings, as we've said, 18 with an additional 19th blessing added later. And the first, and six blessings, the first three and the last three are the same in all Amidas. So on a regular day, you pray 3 times a day. So Shachris, the morning service, the afternoon, the evening service. And those regular day Amidas contain 19 blessings. That's why we also call them the Shmona Esrei, right? The 18, because of all the blessings. On special days, on Shabbos and on holidays, we don't recite the full Amida, the 19 blessings. We recite an Amida of 7 blessings. On Rosh Hashanah is the exception that on Musaf we actually recite an Amida of 9 blessings. But it's a separate story. That's unique just to Musaf of Rosh Hashanah. All other Amidas on any other day, that's not a weekday, we actually recite 7 blessings. So the first 3 and the last 3 are exactly the same every Amida, every day of the year, as many times you're going to pray it. It's the same 3 and the same first 3 and the same last 3. The question is, what's in the middle? Do we have the 13 everyday blessings that we recite on a regular day, or one blessing in the middle? What's the difference? On a regular day, these 13 middle blessings are blessings where we ask for our personal needs. On Shabbos and festivals, we don't ask for our personal needs. Those are not days that we're supposed to ask for our needs. We're not supposed to be depressed. We're not supposed to focus on what we don't have. Everything is perfect. Everything is grand. So on those days, it's inappropriate to ask for anything. So we remove all those 13 blessings of asking for our personal needs, and we replace it with one blessing that focuses on the theme of the day. So on Shabbos, for instance, we have the same 3 opening blessings, the same 3 closing blessings. And in the middle, there's one blessing that talks about Shabbos. It changes in the evening, the afternoon, and the morning and the afternoon. That middle blessing changes what we actually say in the blessing, but the general theme of it is the same, which is the blessing on Shabbos. That's why that middle blessing is Mikadesh Shabbat, who sanctifies Shabbos. On a festival, also, there's a middle blessing. That middle blessing ends Mikadesh Yisrael v'Hazmanim, God who sanctifies the Jewish people and the times, meaning the festivals. So that would be the difference. That first 3 and the last 3 remain the same, but the middle blessing changes. During the week, it's 18 or 19 or 12 or 13 blessings, which is really 13 blessings. And on special days, on days that we don't work, right? On those days, the middle blessings are replaced with one singular blessing, so that we have a total of 7 blessings on those days. Okay. But let's focus also for a moment on the first 3 and the last 3. Okay. So we have these first 3 blessings, which you see here on the page. They start with Baruch Atah, right? God of our fathers, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's blessing number 1 that ends Magen Avraham, shield of Abraham. Blessing number 2 begins Atah Gibor L'Olam Hashem, right? You are mighty forever, my Lord. That blessing ends with the ultimate feat of God's strength, which is Mechayeh HaMeitim, he revives the dead. The next blessing is Atah Kadosh, that's the 3rd blessing, you are holy, which ends with Hakel HaKadosh, the holy God. Okay, that's the end of the first 3 blessings. We skipped the gray box, the Kedusha, we can talk about that another time. Right? Then Atah Chonein La'adam Dat, you graciously bestow knowledge upon men. That's the beginning of the middle section of the blessings. And from Atah Chonein, we have 13 blessings that take us all the way till Ritzei, on page 50 here, right? Ritzei. Ritzei is the beginning of the last 3 blessings. So the last 3 blessings begin with Ritzei. Look with favor, Lord our God. This blessing is known as the Avodah blessing, because it talks about a return to service in the temple, and that ends with Hamachazir Shchinato L'Tzion, who restores his divine presence to Zion. That's blessing number, what is that? Would be blessing, what do we have? We have 3 plus 13, right? So that's 16 blessings. So that would be blessing number 17. Blessing number 18 would be Modim Anachnu Lach. This is called the blessing of thanksgiving, the blessing of Hoda'ah, of thanks. So this blessing starts, we thankfully acknowledge, and then that ends with Hatov Shimcha Ulechana Ela Hodot, that it's to you, it is fitting to offer thanks. You notice, by the way, all the blessings, one of in the nature of blessings, the formula of blessings, so the blessing opens and closes on the same theme. Even if it touches on other stuff in the middle, it always comes back. So we start Modim Anachnu Lach, right? We thank you, and then it ends with fitting to thank, right? You see how the blessings, all these blessings, they start and end the same way. And then the last blessing is Sim Shalom, right? Bestow peace. And of course, it ends with who blesses his people Israel with peace. Again, the peace connection with beginning and end. Then we have you, L'Ratzon, and Elokai Nitzor. We'll talk about that another time. There's actually a special request. We're getting there. We're getting close to talking about this. But I want to just touch on something else. Well, we have the 3 opening blessings, the 3 closing blessings. The sages instituted that that in the blessing of Hodaya, the thanks blessing, which is the middle of the last 3, and in the first blessing, the opening blessing, Shield of Abraham, in that blessing, we open and close that blessing with bowing. Right? So you see the instruction here, Ben Nizet Baruch, bow et Ata. So that's just the first blessing. The first blessing of the Amida opens where when we say Baruch Ata, we bow. Okay, we bend the knees and we bow. And then it closes, that blessing closes, Magen Avram, that's the close of that first blessing. Same thing, bend knees at Baruch, bow at Ata, and straighten up at Hashem. And then again at Modim, so that's the first blessing. Then again at Modim, which is the middle of the last 3 blessings, we open it by bowing, right? We bow down at Modim Anachnu Lach, right? So we bow to open that blessing of Modim, and we bow at the end of the blessing, the close of the blessing, Hatov Shimcha L'chana L'hodot. You'll notice the same instruction again, bend the knees at Baruch, bow at Ata, and straighten up at Hashem. So the first blessing and the middle, the second to last blessing, we're told by the sages to bow. And how do we bow? So by Modim, we just bow forward. It's one movement. But when we open the first blessing, the Amida, and close the first blessing, and when we close this middle of the last blessings, we bend the knees at Baruch, we bow at Ata, and we straighten up at Hashem. Why do we do that? What's this 2-step bowing process? That we're going to save, God willing, for tomorrow. Okay. Now, let's talk about today's Chitas. So today's Chumash describes the observing Shabbos and the observance of the holiday of Pesach and the holiday of Shavuos. So this section, this rest, today's reading, tomorrow's reading, we go through the holidays, all the pilgrimage holidays. So today we focus on